Justin Bieber dropped his new track Holy today, and it features Chance the Rapper. On a live stream before the track premiere, Chance says that Justin's upcoming album that will feature the track is on the level of Michael Jackson's Off the Wall.
This is for a new album, they were wondering, and I'm working on an album right now. Are you working on an album?
Yeah, I am working on an album, but I feel like we should talk about how fire your album is. When we went to Chicago and we were all freaking out.
So fun, bro. This album is really some of the best music I've made. Would you agree?
I would say this is no cap at all. I said this to you in Chicago. Damn. It's some of the best music I've ever heard, period. It reminds me of when Michael Jackson made Off the Wall. Everybody that's listening, I am merching it right now. I promise you, it is literally groundbreaking music. Like, stuff that's like, it's just hard to explain, and I don't want to give away like the genres and all that stuff, but like, you went crazy. I already told you that, but like, I'm just excited that everybody's gonna get to hear that shit.
Thank you for saying that, bro. I'm glad to be able to make it with you. I feel blessed, for real.
Okay, so y'all just heard that right there. And I don't know if Chance the Rapper is trying to switch lanes as far as a career goes, but maybe he should hang it up as a rapper and go into the lane of being a comedian, because that has to be one of his best jokes that he's ever told all year. I take that back. I'm lying. It's probably one of his worst jokes. If he was a comedian, I would boo his ass off the stage and probably throw a tomato at him like they did back in the day to the court jester whenever they told a bad joke or a string of them. This guy actually sat up here with Justin Bieber with a straight face and said out of his mouth that he said that he feels that Justin Bieber's new album could be compared to Michael Jackson's Off the Wall album. And if you listen to the tone, it's almost like he wanted to say that it could probably be better. There has been so many times when they have been trying to compare Justin Bieber to Michael Jackson for so many years. There was even times when they were trying to make Justin Bieber be the quote unquote new king of pop, as if they just gonna snatch that title away from Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson has more talent in his dead corpse than Justin Bieber has being alive in the last few years of his life of him being in this industry. And that's a fact. That's not even an opinion. The nerve of Chance the Rapper, who has been saying a lot of, speaking of off the wall, a lot of off the wall things for the last couple of years, I'm guessing to gain attention from whoever will give it to him. This right here has to be one of the dumbest. But you know what? Maybe it's supposed to be seen as flattering, because Michael Jackson has always been, people have been always trying to compare him to other artists over the years, or other artists being compared to him over the years. And most of the people that they have compared him to, they don't even stack up. The only artist, and y'all know where I'm about to head with this, the only artist that can be comparable to Michael Jackson is Chris Brown. And it's not because Chris Brown is just, immensely talented and a phenomenal dancer. It's because Michael Jackson himself said he was the next big thing. Michael Jackson saw a lot of himself in Chris Brown, which is why he said that. I'm only going to take the words of the king. When he says that Chris Brown was the next big thing, that was a triggering statement right there to those in the industry. And when I say those, I'm talking about those higher up execs who work at the top floor. Isn't it ironic how Chris Brown came out in 2005, and then he had that incident with Rihanna, which derailed his career. And then all of a sudden, Justin Bieber just pops up, mainly because he was discovered by Usher. And then, he gets a little bit of fame, like he was on a streak. And then, his career took a little bit of a downturn, a little bit. But to sit up here and to try to do your best to compare yourself to Michael Jackson, and then not only Michael Jackson, but one of Michael Jackson's best albums, his Off the Wall album, which I believe was his second solo album. A lot of people think Off the Wall was his first solo album. It wasn't. he actually had maybe 1 or 2 solo albums before that, but that's when he was starting to break away from his brothers. But Off the Wall, I guess you can say was his first album as an adult. I guess you can say it like that. But Off the Wall is one of the best albums ever crafted. It just doesn't get as much shine as Thriller, because Thriller was the more mainstream album. That it was his crossover album. I'll put it like that. That's when he started to cross over into the pop era, which is where he got his name, King of Pop. But y'all know I like to call him the King of Music, because I believe he transcended all genres of music. And see, this is me coming on here not only as a Michael Jackson fan, but this is me coming on here trying to protect and defend this man's legacy. Because imagine if people took what they said, what Chance the Rapper said right here, and try to say that his album was better or is on the level of Michael Jackson. First of all, has everybody even heard Justin Bieber's new album? Can he match the sales of Michael Jackson's album? Because you gotta think, Michael Jackson came out at a time when there was no streaming. You actually had to go to a record store and purchase the album at one point in time. Nowadays, you can just stream an album or you can download it. It's easier access. So that's why a lot of people's numbers are higher than some artists back in the day. And even then, with streaming, Michael Jackson's albums will always sell on these 2 critical dates: the anniversary of his death, which was June 25th, 2009, and on his birthday, which is August 29th, 1958. They're always going to do numbers. And this man has been, for the last couple of years, the most successful artist, the most successful deceased artist, or the most profitable deceased artist for the last, I don't know how many years. Like, he's up there, like, where he makes a good, like, his estate makes a good 60 like plus $1 million a year on his album sales. And the person that comes behind him, which I believe is Elvis, is like at 30 something million. So there's a huge gap between the two of them. But, you know, I guess people like to get flattered when they can get compared to Michael Jackson, but you have to have someone to compare it to. And I don't see Justin Bieber being compared to no Michael Jackson. In what world? Now, when I had saw the title of this video, because it came from the ET Canada Live YouTube page channel, it has 4,513 views, 56 likes, and 36 dislikes. So I think the consensus stands that most people do not agree with what Chance the Rapper says. You can be a fan of Justin Bieber if you want to, but you can leave he's going to be better than Michael Jackson. Oh, this album is going to be better than Off the Wall. Like, who are you to say that? And then Chance the Rapper, you as a black man, saying that against another black man who is a legend and who has paved the way for someone such as yourself, hell, even a Justin Bieber. For you to sit up there and say that. Like, I'm sure there are other people he could have compared Justin Bieber to, but you chose Michael Jackson? This isn't me coming off as a hater or anything like that, but I get tired when they try to compare Justin Bieber to Michael Jackson. There is no comparison. There isn't. That's just what it is. That's the truth, and I'm sticking with it. There is no comparison. Justin Bieber has not even reached what we consider legendary status yet. Could he get there? Possibly. He got to put in more work. I think when he took that hiatus, that hindered him. But I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, Justin Bieber is on the level of Michael Jackson. You can get out of here with that. And we have not forgotten that video that he made years ago when he was just getting ready to get started in the industry, when he was calling black people the N-words in that song. But they would want us to forget. They never bring that up. Because, see, they had to make sure that he stayed out there to kind of push Chris Brown to the side. See, they were glad what happened when Chris Brown happened. They probably didn't expect it to happen, but they're glad that it did. Because you imagine where Chris Brown would have been at right now had that incident back then did not happen, where he would be right now. But I'm glad that that Chris Brown is kind of keeping a low profile right now, noticed that the news outlets really haven't been talking about him lately because he's just doing his own thing. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he has another child on the way, if I'm not mistaken. So he's just staying low key. He's, being with his family. And if he decides to want to make more music, he has, that's something that's really on him. But I think he's gotten to the point where now he finally has listened to the people and said, look, Chris, maybe you just need to lay low because these people keep attacking you and you keep giving them ammunition to attack you with. So I think he's finally paid attention. He's gotten those toxic people out of his life. And now he's focused. And I'm glad that he is. So when he comes back out, it's going to be like he never left. I think he just needed to, I guess just have time to himself. Maybe the quarantine helped. I'm not sure. But it seems like every time that he comes out, something happens, and it's mostly hyped up by the media. But I didn't really mean to go into the territory talking about Chris Brown, but I just had to throw that in there. But that's really all I have to say about this. Chance the Rapper, you are a clown. A whole clown. It doesn't matter if you do not have on the red nose, the makeup, the hair, and the weird suit and the big red shoes. You can be a clown and not have to wear the costume. Because that was a very clownish statement to make.